Well, hello there, everyone.
Hello there.
Some of you saw all the Pulp Fiction cutaways I did in my HK video, and a few people have approached me to do a themed cutaway video, which is going to be difficult because I jump around so much with my cutaways that I'd have to reuse some. So, we'll see.
Do it.
I am probably going to try to do some like 80s throwback cutaways, but I don't know how I'm going to do that with some of the content I have, and then trying to do like an Airwolf or a Knight Rider cutaway video is going to be hard to find relevant clips to cut away to, but we'll see. Some other housekeeping. I've made and uploaded to an Odysee account. I already have a BitChute account, but it's way behind. The Odysee account took me some time to make, and I've been uploading to it over the past 10 to 12 days. It's definitely a backup platform that we should grow. Odysee performs a lot like YouTube, which makes me happy. They have this weird cryptocurrency, I guess, which is what you need to upload videos with.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't.
I didn't realize this at the time, but after setting up my account and the stuff you need to do to set up an account to upload, there's a way to send people money. And I've always told everyone I'm not going to charge people for my content because I don't feel like my content's up to par to charge people for, but I have no control over people sending me money on Odysee. So to maintain that promise that I'm not going to ask anybody for money, I'm never going to ask you to donate or anything like that. If you do, before you do, there's other places I'd prefer you send money to instead of me, which is the FPC, Firearms Policy Coalition, GOA, Gun Owners of America, Judicial Watch, or Project Veritas. Those are the ones I'd much prefer you send money to instead of me. If you are so inclined and there's nothing I can say to dissuade you, I can't stop you from doing it on Odysee, but just understand I didn't set up an Odysee account knowing that was a thing. I kind of saw it as I was uploading, and I've already uploaded so much that it's a foregone conclusion at this point that I'm going to be operating on that platform. BitChute is also a platform I'm going to be operating on, so once I get Odysee caught up, I'll upload the most recent videos. Also, the way Odysee uploads, it put a lot of my videos out of order, and I'm not saying go through and support me on Odysee. It's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But it's going to be all my old videos, so you'll be rewatching stuff. That's completely up to you. Link is in the description. But I'm not going to open a Patreon or any of this stuff because, again, I feel the way I feel. And times are going to get tough economically, so I, again, do not feel right asking people for money. All right, enough of that. David Chipman has been defeated for the ATF director position because of us and our activism. Both with letters to your representatives, donations to the FPC and GOA, and just the grassroots campaign working against this guy. So much so, it got on the nightly news on Fox. And even some other places, like liberal outlets, were saying, yeah, he's not a good candidate. For those that are skeptical, and I'm always going to say be skeptical, I'm never going to tell someone not to be skeptical, but I may have a conversation with you about it if I disagree with you on your skepticism. What's important is balancing that skepticism with information, and I'm a show me versus a tell me kind of person. I'm not going to disparage anybody for saying, I don't know if this is going to work, or I don't know if this is going to be effective, but we've proven now that we can be effective with that level of activism. So we need to carry that forward to continue to be effective, because Biden's going to keep this dude because he aligns with their values of dishonest. Well, I better. Birds of a feather flock together, we'll say that. Also, they're going to nominate somebody else who we don't like. They're going to take some time, reset, and dig into those people's backgrounds, probably do more of a background check. before just making an emotional decision. So we're gonna have to do this again. Just keep that in mind. But again, don't despair, because the methods and the framework is in place to keep securing wins. We just have to do it. We've proven it works. We can use it on any nominee or proposed bill we disagree with. And that's for any of our rights. That's for anything that's going to take money out of our pockets or change things or do any of that stuff, which I'm going to get to. Because in my last video, I brought up the coming gun control push, and it's here. I'm not trying to sit here and be like, oh, look, I was right. I told you so. I don't give a fuck. I'm more trying to bring it, like, me being right doesn't change anything. I had to break it to those people that love being right about stuff. It's a curse, really, if you think about it, because no one listened to you and then you have to say, I told you so. Happens to me a lot professionally and when I have other conversations with people. And sometimes I'm wrong, but in this case, they're definitely doing it. And what we're gonna need is numbers and money to fight this stuff, because it's the showing that we had, and we don't know the outcome yet, but the showing that we had for, I know there's gonna be hearings, but the showing that we had for the receiver stuff and the pistol brace stuff was piss poor. Very underwhelming.
Not again. Obi-Wan's gonna kill me.
And for a gun community that talks all the shit it does, you'd think that when something happens, we'd be en masse pushing back on things. Like Virginia, when everybody showed up in Virginia, where was that for the receiver comments and the pistol brace thing? People decide when to show up, and it can't be like that if you want to win. If you want to win, we gotta, it's not, you know, Letterkenny said it's not about how many fights you win, it's about how many you show up to. And that's the realest thing I've ever heard. And a lot of people are like, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense because you don't understand it. It's all about not being afraid to show up, not letting people intimidate you, and not letting people force you to do what they want you to do. It's more, hey, I'm here and you got to deal with me to get this done, sort of thing. Not, I'm gonna be really upset after. You have to remember always that we're citizens, not subjects. So anytime that there's something that we don't like, we have to show up in numbers, peacefully, professionally, and we have to send money to the FPC and GOA. This administration has already proven multiple times, they get their ass handed to them like it's their job from the Supreme Court lately, but they've demonstrated on a wide variety of issues that they are perfectly happy doing something that they know to be unconstitutional and then just waiting to see if it gets challenged in the court. Luckily, there's plenty of organizations that are doing that, and there's states even that are doing it, which is good because we're making our voices known. But we need to have that emergency buffer on the back end to challenge things in court, which for us, for Second Amendment stuff, is the FPC and GOA. The NRA is kind of a lost cause at this point until they change their leadership and then get stuff back together, but which we need to keep working with them on, but not by giving them money. But having that legal insurance policy is key, and it's not something to be underestimated. They're gonna fight for us, which is good. All we have to do is give them money and resources to do so. Part of those resources are putting our names on stuff so they can say, hey, I got 1 million people who are pretty pissed about this. Or, hey, I got 5, 6, 7, 10 million people that are really pissed about this, and we're gonna show you in court. And then hopefully they'll just withdraw it. But we'll see. You know, that happened in a couple states, so maybe we can do it on the federal scale. We will see, but we need to have that insurance policy in place and do things professionally, legally, and peaceably as long as humanly possible, like I've said before. And we've done good things doing it right, so we can continue to do that. And I know that's not what people want to hear, but it's the option we have to take. I hate to break it to everybody. And I know that's not going to win me any popularity contests. So send money to the FPC and GOA, and then Judicial Watch and Project Veritas are doing a lot of heavy hitting as well on a multitude of fronts. We need to receive their attack, launch our counterattack,
the survivors a perimeter create.
And then keep pushing deeper and deeper into their territory to protect our rights.
Yes, sir. All quadrants to Sector 515.
Because that's how they're doing it. The Democrats are screen attacking us with literally everything they want passed, and they're going to see what gets through. We need to shift, move, communicate, and defend against those attacks. And then when they're distracted with other things, we take the ball and move it deeper. So now they have other barriers they have to overcome to take our rights away, or even try to. And then we'll be alerted because they're trying to dismantle that. And the one of the few wins the NRA's given us was preemption. So we see them trying to dismantle preemption, we can start attacking them there before they can even do any of these other things, as an example. All right, this is a strategy. It's not a one and done thing. It's a constant thing, and we need to overcome all of these obstacles and challenges and show them that we're not quitters. We're not just full of shit. We're not just gonna sit here and talk. We're gonna actually mobilize and get things done. These people are cowards. So when they actually get resistance on things, they crumble, like absolutely crumble and fall away. So we just need to put up that resistance. That's what these numbers and donations are about, is about showing a meaningful presence. And you're gonna have to deal with all of us. This entire community is not gonna put up with these 5 people shit sort of thing, like you're seeing with school boards and all this other stuff. It's the same principle. All right, some non-gun things that you need to be aware of because they want your money. And money is freedom. Debt and inflation are modern slavery. They're trying to make us at a minimum indentured servants. And as much as it pains me to say this, Alex Jones has been saying this for a while, and my man keeps stacking things he was right about, as wild as they sounded. And as much as I wanted to say, look, man, you know, I lean this way, but that can't be right. And it is. And I got to admit when I'm wrong, and my man's been right about a lot of stuff. And quite frankly, it's been very interesting to see all this stuff. Like some of the most wild things that have come out of his mouth, he's been right about. He has been wrong about things, but geez, we're in like 9 or 10 things he's been correct about, and this is one of them. First, there's a concerted effort for going after cryptocurrencies and trying to isolate cryptocurrencies. So even if you don't believe in them or you don't want to use them, the reason that they're doing that is they can't crash the dollar, or they can't crash the euro, or they can't do any of that stuff if you have other monetary options. And part of changing, or this term I keep hearing is the Great Reset, but keep hearing that, and you can't do that if people have outs. If they're trying to limit people from traveling, Greece is a perfect example of this. They are in an economic crisis and have been for some time. And they've gotten to the point where they've just become a self-sufficient community, and it's pissing the government off. And I really like Greece. I really like the Greek people. They've treated me very well. I still have friends in Greece. They're definitely ride or die. But they've had to deal with this, and they're trying to do this to the larger countries so they can get us under the umbrella. There's people that have been planning this dog shit for a long time. And, you know, the little groups that meet every year, and the guy I don't know how Soros operates. Like, everybody knows his backstory. How is this guy still operating? I don't know. Also, don't Epstein or McAfee me. This is something that a lot of people don't know about, but it's going to take effect in 2022. One of the previous relief packages, when you got your cool little $1,200 in the mail that everybody got, well, guess what? They also snuck something in there where all online transactions, $600 and over, now have to be reported to the IRS for taxes. And I think it used to be $1,000 or $2,000. But for those of you that sell a lot of guns and shit, guess what? every time it's over $600 and you use an online transaction website like PayPal or Zelle or any of this stuff, they have to record it. I don't know about you, but Zelle's attached to my bank account. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to piss people off. And remember that $600 number, it's going to be important for this next point. But that happened and nobody complained about it because they were getting money. And there's a reason for this. They want to tax for all these social programs that they never follow through on, which is something I'm going to hit in a minute. And it's another form of control. Speaking of control, what's in the budget, and I don't know if you guys are looking at this. They want to pass an infrastructure package that's at a minimum $1 trillion, but they also passed the $3.5 trillion package by the skin of their teeth. All the Republicans voted against it, but they also have a social reconciliation package, which is $3.5 trillion, and the budget. So all of this stuff together is just going to kill us because inflation's already at 3.5%, and we're not even 9 months into this presidency yet, based on the day he took office. So it's a very frustrating thing. On top of this, in the budget, I think it's in one of these monster packages. I'm going to put all the resource links in the description, and not a lot of people are covering this, so you might be like, well, this person has a leaning there. I don't care. It's the information's there and it's verifiable, so I don't give a fuck about people's feelings about, oh, this source. I don't care. They're reporting it and you can check and see if it's there. If it's there, the information was given to you. All right, damn. But anyways, the current budget proposal has a provision to give the IRS access to your bank accounts and report anyone's account with more than $600 in it. And this is like a socialist regime style tactic. And before, like currently right now today, the IRS reports transactions that are $10,000 and above. Now they're going to report anyone's bank account that has $600 in it. What the point they're articulating is, we don't know the people that have cash businesses how much money they're making or if they're reporting everything, so we gotta know. For tax purposes, my fucking ass, dude. How many government programs like this have ever worked? Like when they confiscated all the gold or took us off the gold standard or any of this other shit. It's wild, man. And this isn't like trying to scare people. This isn't like conspiracy theories. This is in the fucking stuff they're voting on, and we're just sitting here drooling in front of our TVs because football started back up. The good news about this is the same exact things that we do to fight bullshit gun legislation proposals and all that stuff, you can do for stuff like this. So I expect everybody watching this video to write your representatives and send money to people that will fight this, because, and I don't even know who that is. I got to do research, and I'm going to do updates on this as we progress, but we need to do all this because Votapalooza is coming up and they're going to try to pass this. So this is like an emergency. Make sure you write everybody. Like, this can't be in the bill. It's got to go. The way I see this working is they're going to look at people that have a lot of money, and then they're going to see people who don't, and they're going to try to redistribute the wealth. And they're going to say, hey, you got like 120,000 in your account. We're going to go ahead. You only need about this much. So we're going to go ahead and take about 60 grand. We're going to give you some bullshit government stuff as payment for the money that we're taking from you, but we're going to give it to these people. That's how I see this playing out. And we don't need the IRS to have control of our bank accounts. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it's unconstitutional. There's no way that they have the right to have access to your bank account. That's ridiculous. So everybody needs to get red hot pissed about that and start writing people today. Get the word out. You don't have to send my video, just get the fucking word out. Use the links that I'm putting in the description. Get the word out. I don't give a shit about how many views this video has. There's nothing more important than that, because if they can take your money and keep you poor, afford to travel, you can't afford to feed yourself, and you can't afford to feed your guns or your vehicles. So they've essentially trapped you where you are. And it's ridiculous. I spent $75 on three bags of groceries. $75 on 3 bags of groceries. And some of it was buy one, get one. It's so ridiculous. It's shit that would have cost me maybe 50 bucks. Maybe. Packs of bacon are $10. Like, are you paying attention yet? All those people are like, what am I gonna do, not buy gas? I love those motherfuckers, man. They're really quiet on social media right now, but that was the first stuff I started to hear. What am I gonna do, not buy gas? No, you're gonna not go do things. You're gonna start walking places, which might be better for you, but you're gonna not take trips to the range. You're gonna not go see family. You're gonna be isolated in your local area, and you're gonna be deciding, do I really need to make this trip? It's freedom of movement. There's people on CNN that are like, you don't have a right to travel.
But there's an even bigger reason too, which is I think we really need to make it clear that there are privileges associated with being an American, that if you wish to have these privileges, you need to get vaccinated. Travel and having the right to travel interstate, it's not a constitutional right as far as I know.
Like, yes, you fucking do. Who's advising these people? It's in the Constitution. The United States, you cannot stop a U.S. citizen from driving or moving within the United States. There's a reason for that. You can't stop freedom of travel between states, which is why we're the United States. That's the whole fucking point. Really quick, if you're one of those people that are like, what am I gonna do, not buy gas? Or you think these social programs need to happen, or you're a left-leaning person or a Democrat, go ahead and look at those blue cities and states. Are they living up to their promises? What do they look like? Are those social programs that they implemented working? I can tell you they're not. There's literally shit on the streets in a lot of cities. I went to visit somebody in a big city, and it's a very, very liberal city. There were tents forever. There were dudes in the park. The parks were getting closed for sanitation issues. There were dudes in the park stealing people's trash cans and recycling bins and going through them. Like, just taking them. No one was stopping them. It's wild. Wild. I almost had to fight a guy over $20 because a business only took cash. And this dude started following me. I turned around and looked at him. I said, are we gonna do this or what? And he didn't say anything to me. He looked me dead in the eyes for like 30 seconds, and then he turned and walked away. And I really didn't want to fight this dude. He was the same height and weight I was. It was gonna be rough. But he was gonna beat my ass for that $20. And I didn't have my gun. You know, I was in another state. I flew there. It's wild, man. So just look at these states, and are they doing what they said they're gonna do? Or are they really saying, oh no, this program didn't work, so we need to raise taxes more and I need more power? Is that what they're saying? Stop giving these people more ways and means to fuck you. It's ridiculous. And I know people don't want to believe it because it goes against like the nice stuff or their feelings or any of this shit. Look, observe, see what's happening. It's like my ex-wife. Don't listen to what she's saying because she's doing all this dirt. Watch what they're doing. Watch what they're doing. All right. I know I just got all kinds of loud and elevated and everything.
Be mindful of your thoughts, Anakin. They betray you.
I do have some projects in the works, and I want people to be more awake to things. You know, I want people to get red pilled or whatever. There's too many people just getting black pilled, which is they've given up on society and they hate things. And I'm fighting being black pilled every day. I'm just so disappointed in a lot of things, and it's just sad. Like, it's sad to see all this work you put in and then what people do with it. But that's also free will. My values are getting tested daily. But what I would like to see, and what we kind of are seeing, is the country is getting more unified. And I know people are saying, no, it's not. But it's the silent majorities and the people that aren't on the extreme right and left. They're getting more unified, especially after Afghanistan, especially with all these financial issues. They're starting to see through a lot of things. There's this dude that unfurled a specific thing about a specific candidate that actually won a certain thing. And he used to get booed everywhere he went. And the first video I saw today, this morning, was him doing that again and everybody cheering USA. So there's been a shift. Don't give up yet. We have to foster, shelter, water, and try to get that turn to grow and get traction. And I know this video is going up on September 12th. Yesterday was a day of reflection for me. I'm happy that a lot of people did that as well. And I appreciate people not forgetting. I really do. So let's keep that going. Let's go back to the world we were on September 12th, 2001. Let's start bringing that back and fostering that environment and really encouraging people to do that. Let's bring people under the tent. And I'm not even saying like political affiliations. Let's just do it as a country, as a people, as a society. Let's start turning this stuff around, because we can do it. We've already demonstrated that in our own little bubble we can get wins. What if we started to branch out and do that everywhere? So be a positive agent for change, and the change we want to see, not this socialist progressivism that's ruining our country, or the CRT, or any of this other horse shit. Let's be humans. You know, like, let's be Americans. They can't deal with any sort of rules or anything, and they're very, very emotional and combative. So if you're calm, cool, and collected, the people around you see how that goes. And if these people look more and more crazy to them, as they already are, then they're gonna lose a lot of the hearts and minds, which is more important than a lot of people give credit. So I know a lot of people's immediate response is, hey, fuck that guy, or hey, I'd rather, you know, do this to them than talk to them. That's fine, but you're also not getting any wins there. You know, ideological wins are just as important as victories in combat or fights or any of that other stuff, which is you know, kind of a big deal. People really don't give that stuff credit. And I know it sounds like cushy feelings and all that other horse shit. It's not. Public sentiment getting behind something can generate momentum. So just think about that stuff. I really appreciate everybody. I know some of you sit through my long ass boring voice in all these videos, and I always have a lot to say, and I'm very long-winded. So I really do appreciate you guys. Odysee channel is in the description. And always remember, the United States is a people that see a problem, come together, and fix it. And we always prevail. Don't ever forget that. Thanks for watching. Take care out there.
Obi-Wan, may the Force be with you.
Goodbye, old friend. May the Force be with you.